Every year, U.S. News comes out with their lists. Top 10 these, top 20 those. One of those lists is the top 25 places to live in 2021. The problem is, I talk to people every day from several of the cities on their list, and they're trying to get out of those cities. We need a new list. Ellen's list. No, not that Ellen. This Ellen, my list. Now, credit where it's due, U.S. News does their homework. They analyze factors like job markets and housing affordability. They also look at the quality of life, which takes into account crime rates, healthcare, education, well-being, which supposedly tells us if residents in those areas are generally happy, and commute times, because nobody likes sitting for hours in gridlock. That's all good stuff, and based on that, they chose Boulder, Denver, Austin, Colorado Springs, Fort Collins, Charlotte, Des Moines, Fayetteville, Arkansas, not Fayetteville, North Carolina, Portland, San Francisco, if you're a billionaire, Raleigh, Durham, of course, Ann Arbor, Seattle, I do love me some Frasier reruns, Naples, Huntsville, Sarasota, Nashville, Boston, Boise, Madison, Wisconsin, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Dallas, and finally Green Bay, Wisconsin. Do any of you live in one of those and want to get out? I'll tell you one thing people are tired of: shoveling snow. U.S. News didn't take that into account. Like I said, I talk to people every single day that are moving from some of these cities, not because they had a job transfer or wanted to be closer to family, but because they want a better quality of life. What do people want when they call me? What would I want if I were relocating? Beauty. There has to be some natural beauty for me to be happy. I don't want to live somewhere where there's more flowers in the florist shops than outside. I need parks and recreation. I want to get out into that beautiful nature with relative ease. I want a cool downtown and or a historic district. And food, real food. I'm kind of a foodie and I like there to be a good farmer's market, some kind of specialty grocery stores. Whole Foods will work in a pinch, but I really like co-ops or locally owned grocers. So, without much further ado, here is Ellen's list of top places to investigate if you're thinking of relocating in 2021. I saved my absolute favorite and the city that I will probably be moving to at some point for last, so don't miss that. You're not going to see that city on any other list because for now it's a secret. Number 1 is Boulder, Colorado. Boulder is stunningly beautiful. It's at the base of the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, so there's no shortage of views like this. Within the 5-mile Border Creek path is a great place to get out and hike, and if you're into mountain climbing, the Dome is just a couple of miles outside the city. And they say it's a great place for beginners if climbing is something you've always wanted to do. That's never been on my bucket list, but I can imagine how some people might like it. Pearl Street in Boulder was named one of the best 10 foodie streets in America by Food and Wine magazine, and look at this. Doesn't it just make you want to meander and window shop? Boulder has some great food options. There is a Whole Foods and a Trader Joe's, but it also has a really fantastic farmer's market. Top industries in Boulder are aerospace, bioscience, clean tech, IT, natural products, and outdoor recreation. Boulder, Colorado has a population of 106,000 people, and the median home price is $776,000. It is not a cheap city. Now, the median income in the entire U.S. was $68,000 in 2019, so Boulder is not for the average American. It's actually the most expensive city on my list, so if you're looking for something more affordable, we're going to get to that. Fayetteville, Arkansas. Fayetteville is a small city in northwestern Arkansas. It's home to the Clinton House Museum because, love 'em or hate 'em, this museum was the Clintons' first home. Now, just a quick reminder that this channel is meant to be a distraction from politics. I know people might get a little silly in the comments at the mention of a former politician's name, but please be nice. So more about Fayetteville. This small city is about 2 hours from the closest larger city, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Good to know if you need bigger city resources because Fayetteville is only 85,000 people. Fayetteville is on the outskirts of the Boston Mountains, giving it a gently rolling topography. The Razorback Regional Greenway is a 37-mile trail that runs through the city, and Lake Sequoia Park is a popular outdoor spot. The Fayetteville Farmers Market and Historic Square is right in the middle of the city, and as usual, the best shops in any college town are right next to the university. You can find plenty of restaurants, breweries, and cool shops on Dixon Street. Industries in Fayetteville are corporate services, entrepreneurs and innovators, legacy manufacturers, retail, and specialized technologies. The median home in Fayetteville costs just $228,000. Naples, Florida is a small city on the west coast of Florida. The thing I love about the west coast of Florida is the beaches are beautiful white sand beaches, and unlike the Atlantic beaches, the water is crystal clear. The weather is beautiful year-round in Naples, so you can always enjoy the outdoors. Keep in mind it's a humid subtropical climate, which means you're going to get plenty of rain, especially in the afternoon. But there's a a saying in Florida, it's always nice at the beach. And I don't know why, but even if it's raining everywhere else, you can often go to the beach and it won't be raining there. It makes no sense, but it seems to be true. In addition to the water sports available in a coastal city, there are greenways like the Gordon River Greenway, and the Manatee and Mangrove Tunnels are a nice way to see nature up close with a kayak tour. If you've never seen a manatee, they are the most adorable Humpty Dumpty-like mammals. They look like potatoes with whiskers, and they are actually personable. When I lived in Florida, there was a manatee that used to come up to the docks to get his dose of fresh water. He just loved playing in the hose water when we sprayed it for him. They are so cute. Naples doesn't have a really good historic district, but they do have some really nice outdoor shopping districts on 3rd and 5th Streets. Their weekly farmers market and their popular events take place on 3rd. The population of Naples is only 22,000 people, so it's small, but the county it's in, Collier County, has a wide range of industries that include clean tech, manufacturing, life sciences, defense and homeland security, aviation and aerospace, IT, and financial services. The median home price is only $352,000. That is cheap to have access to these beaches. Colorado Springs, Colorado. If you want to be in Colorado and you can't afford Boulder, Colorado Springs might be your place. The cool thing about Colorado Springs is you can live in what feels like a permanent vacation at a price that's somewhat affordable compared to many cities. Colorado Springs has some amazing parks inside the city limits. There is the Garden of the Gods Park, Monument Valley Park, and Sonderman Park. Stunning views and great outdoor adventures are available in the city. There are some great organic food options, including the standards, but also this amazing looking farmers market. Tejon Street downtown has some great little shops and restaurants. Top industries in Colorado Springs are aerospace and defense, cybersecurity, sports, life sciences, and medical devices. Colorado Springs is a medium-sized city at 472,000 people, and the median home price is $348,000. Huntsville, Alabama is a medium-sized city in the Appalachian region, and I just love the beautiful mountain views inside the city. And of course, that means they have great options for getting outdoors. For more rustic adventures, Montesano State Park is a great place to hike, and inside the city is beautiful Big Spring Park. It's got an extensive greenway system, a koi river, and lots of places for quiet contemplation. While many of the cities I've already covered have one farmer's market, Huntsville actually has quite a few. Some that looked really interesting to me were the Green Street Market, which was a traditional type of farmer's market, and the Oakwood Farm Market, which is more like a mini grocery store, deli, and farmer's market combined. If I lived in Huntsville, that's where I would shop. The historic areas in Huntsville didn't look like they were very well populated, but the Bridge Street Shopping Center is where most people go for dinner, a movie, or shopping. It's great for families because there's a merry-go-round and a train ride. They host events and concerts, and it's dog-friendly, and business owners like to put water bowls out for their furry guests. Industries in Huntsville include aerospace, defense, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and bioscience. The population is 197,000, and the median home price is $198,000. Super cheap! Raleigh-Durham is my personal home, and you can find a lot more videos on my channel about this area and about North Carolina on this playlist. I'm also a realtor in Raleigh, so I guess you could say my company is sponsoring these great videos, and if you want to see more of them, you should definitely click the subscribe button right now. I'll give you a minute. Done? Raleigh has a ton of great things to recommend it. We've got a nearly 6,000 acre state park right in the city, Umstead State Park. Falls Lake State Park is on the north side of the city, and some major trailheads run through Raleigh. The Mountain to the Sea Trail, the Neuse River Greenway, and the American Tobacco Trail, not quite in Raleigh, but just to the west. These 3 trails alone are hundreds and hundreds of miles of hiking, and they're just the largest. We call ourselves the Triangle because we're made up of 3 cities, Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill, that form a triangle. How's that for creativity? The Triangle has incredible options for locally grown food with multiple growers markets throughout the region, and we have some cool little grocery co-op stores like this one in downtown Raleigh. In Raleigh, there's a historic shopping district called City Market. The streets are the original cobblestone, and there are some great shops and restaurants here. Durham, an old tobacco town, has restored their historic tobacco warehouse district into a modern shopping, eating, and sports arena, home to the Durham Bulls. Major industries in this region are pharmaceuticals, technology, government, and higher education, with multiple high-ranking universities calling the Triangle home. The population of the 2 cities combined is around 750,000 people, and the median home prices are around $269,000 in Durham and $307,000 in Raleigh. Sarasota, Florida is this small city on the western side of Florida, about an hour south of Tampa. It's known for its beautiful beaches, cultural arts, and the Italian and Venetian architecture throughout the city. Sarasota has tons of festivals each year, like the Sarasota Film Festival and the Ringling International Arts Festival. If that name sounds familiar, it's because for a long time, Sarasota was the winter home of the Ringling Brothers Circus, and there's still a penchant for performance with all its theaters and opera houses and jazz clubs and even a circus arts conservatory. There's plenty to do outdoors with beaches like Siesta Beach, ranked #1 in the U.S. There's also South Lido County Park, where you can go kayaking through mangrove forest, a beautiful botanical garden downtown, and the Bayfront Park, which has walking trails, a children's playground, and beautiful views of the bay. The Sarasota Farmers Market is well loved by the locals. It's kind of a mix of farm items and artisan wares. Very cool. Industries in Sarasota are healthcare, manufacturing, hospitality, higher education, and telecommunications. The population is 57,000 and the median home price is $351,000. Boise, Idaho. Jazz, indie music, and theater are the thing in Boise. This mid-sized city is dripping with festivals, and they are quirky. The tongue-in-cheek puppetry for millennials is a well-loved tradition. The foothills north of downtown offer extensive opportunities for hiking and biking, and there's a 20-mile urban greenway trail system called the Boys River Greenbelt that runs along the river and through Pierce Park. They have a zoo and professional sports teams if that's your thing, and definitely plenty of skiing. Boise has a fantastic downtown district. 8th Street is a great walkable area with sidewalk cafes and restaurants. Major industries include technology, advanced manufacturing, food production, energy, and outdoor recreation industries. The population is 226,000 and the median home price is $391,000. And our third and final Colorado city on the list, I promise I'm not being paid by some Colorado politicians or businesses trying to drum up immigration to their state. It just has a lot going for it. Fort Collins has tons of trails throughout the city and some beautiful natural areas as well. Horsetooth Mountain, Pine Ridge Natural Area, and Kathy From Prairie Natural Area are all popular outdoor destinations. Old Town Fort Collins is super quaint. Look at this. It's a restored Art Deco historic district. Believe it or not, Disneyland modeled their Main Street USA after this historic district. It also has a historic trolley, which is pretty cool. Colorado State is the city's biggest employer. The university has attracted some tech businesses to the area. HP, Intel, and Microsoft all have offices in the city. Other than academia and tech, manufacturing and service-related businesses are common there. The population of Fort Collins is 337,000 and the median home price is $413,000. And now for my personal favorite, and this city doesn't make it onto any list, so you may not have ever thought about this city before, but I think that's just a lack of good marketing on the part of the city itself, because this is a great city. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Winston-Salem is experiencing a transformation from an old tobacco town to a center of innovation. One of the things I've noticed about Winston is how beautiful the area is to drive through. And it isn't surprising because this city lies on the edge of the Yadkin Valley, North Carolina's wine country. I am such a sucker for a historic district, and Winston has one like nothing I've ever seen. It's almost like a miniature Williamsburg, Virginia, and even has the costumed historic figures throughout the Old Salem district. But the cool thing is, even though it is actually a living history museum, it's also just part of the city, and regular people live in the houses among the historic shops and homes that are on exhibit. It's a great place to shop or grab a bite to eat. Downtown Winston-Salem has beautiful tree-lined streets, and the Southern culture is evident in restaurants like Sweet Potatoes. While Winston isn't in the mountains, it's pretty close to them. Hanging Rock State Park and Pilot Mountain are just 30 minutes north of the city, and within the city there are great outdoor options like Washington Park and Bailey Park, where they've got concerts and festivals throughout the season. Bailey Park is connected to the Innovation Quarter, Winston-Salem's technology district. Winston-Salem is transforming itself to be a leader in the nanotech, high-tech, and biotech field. Medical research is a fast-growing local industry, and Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center is the largest employer in Winston-Salem. Were there any cities on my list that you didn't know about or hadn't considered before? Drop me a note to tell me which cities you would like to know more about, and maybe I'll do a video in the future. If you're thinking of relocating but you're a little bit nervous to take the plunge, watch this video and don't forget to click that bell.